Could this Baltimore Ravens team, I know even at 7-7, but could they just hear me out? Could they be the dark horse team of the AFC in 2025? I personally think so. Also, we're going to cover Lamar Jackson having the flu, a key addition to the Ravens defense coming back. This and so much more in this episode of Quiet Storm Sports. Yes, yes, yes. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to yet another episode of Quiet Storm Sports on the Purple Rain Podcast YouTube channel. I am your host, Sutton Def, and we're here today to talk about a lot of news that has come out recently from our Baltimore Ravens kingdom, castle, whatever you want to call it. There's some stuff. There's some new stuff. But before we get into that stuff, I do want to let you guys know, again, I am live right now. Got to give a shout out to who's in the live chat. I'll do that in a second. But first, be sure, please like the video, right? I mean, I got my birthday coming up this weekend, guys. Christmas is right around the corner. If you want to get me a nice little gift, right? Just like the video. I mean, that would definitely suffice for me. I'd appreciate it so much. Again, it helps our channel out a ton here at PRP. We appreciate all of you guys for rocking out and supporting us for all this time. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate you ladies as well. Let me see who's here in the live chat. RJ, what's going on, RJ? Shout out to you. He's the first in the chat. Says, yes, sir, we live. Absolutely. Yes, sir. Appreciate you for coming through, RJ. Hope you're having a great day. Khalil in the house says, I was wondering when the yearly Lamar flu would manifest. Yep, we almost made it through a full football season without Lamar Jackson having a stomach bug of sorts or having, some sort of illness. But you know that Lamar immune system ain't the strongest, right? Ain't the strongest. Shelly in the house says, hi, listening to Sutton while I'm waiting for my takeout. Shout out to you, Shelly. What's going on? And again, another one of our members here. Shout out to all of our members here at PRP. Big ups to you guys. But what's going on, Shelly? Tila is in the house. What's up, Tila? Appreciate you for coming through as well. Of course, the M stands for mod, so make sure you're on your best behavior. Mike M. Flock Gang is in the house. Salute to you, brother. Chike says, great to see you, Sutton. And thank you for your Sutton Reacts channel. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I've been having so much fun with Sutton Reacts. I'm kind of like really still kind of settling down into my rhythm and flow of that show. And, those of you guys who have been coming through in the mornings and chopping it up with me on Sudden Reactions, I truly do appreciate it. It's kind of like a collaborative thing, between me and the community here at PRP and the community that I want to build separately for Sudden Reactions. By the way, there's a whole channel dedicated to Sudden Reactions. So if you want to go subscribe to that, that would definitely help for sure. Appreciate you guys for coming through. John Bishop is in the house. John says, do you think that the Ravens have a chance in the playoffs? If they were to make the playoffs, I do think that they have a legitimate shot. You guys see the thumbnail on this video is, hey, can the Ravens be the AFC North, not AFC North, the AFC dark horses, right? You got to win the AFC North in order to get into the playoffs, right? And we're going to get into that, all the scenarios and things like that, because we are not out of the woods yet at all by any stretch. By any stretch. 7 days from this very moment that I'm recording this, I could be singing a totally different tune right now. But I do have faith that the Ravens will finish strong at home and beat the New England Patriots. Surprise, surprise, that's going to be my pick. And if they were to end up winning the division and make the playoffs, I think that they can make some shake. I really do think that they can make something shake in the playoffs. RJ with a super chat donation says, for the upcoming birthday, happy birthday. Appreciate you, RJ. Dropping the 10-piece in the chat, making it rain here on Quiet Storm Sports. Salute to you. Salute to you, RJ. Again, RJ, Purple Rain Pioneer, longtime supporter, watcher of the show. Appreciate you, brother, as always. Black Daniel says, I know that doesn't say the flu. Absolutely, it does. It does. It says the flu. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. Actually, let me see what Don says here. In the live chat. Mark Florio, or are you talking about Mike Florio, was talking on Pro Football Talk podcast that the Ravens would be relieved to part ways with Lamar because he's difficult and has no agent. Told y'all EDC and Harbaugh is a snake. I don't the Ravens would be relieved to part ways with Lamar because he's difficult. I don't see that at all. That's I think that's cap. I'm gonna call cap on that one, Don. Mike might have said that. Mike Florio might have said that. He says a lot of things for hot takes and clicks and stuff like that. But nothing has shown me that Lamar Jackson is a pain, is a thorn in the sides of Eric DeCosta and John Harbaugh. I mean, if anything, Lamar is the only reason why those guys have jobs in 2025. If we're being honest, just dead honest right now, he's the only reason, especially John Harbaugh, why they have jobs. So I don't see that to be true at all. And Tila says wet. Exactly. I don't know where that came from Mike Florio. I'm not talking about you, Don, but like if Mike Florio said that, he needs to get better sources, right? Get better sources, because that makes no sense. World Class, what up? Bo knows, what up? Okay. So I guess we can go ahead and we can just start with the kind of like the elephant in the room. You know what I mean? The I word report is kind of long today. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. So let's just go ahead and get into that. I actually had the video, because the Ravens just dropped the video of Ed Reed in the locker room, I believe, last week, and that's going to be a part of the Ravens Wired that gets released tonight. And I'm gonna preview that with you guys here. We're gonna react to it live. But 1 second, let's see, because I think the video is gonna probably play when I switch scenes here. Let's see. We'll take the video off screen and we'll go through the I word report first. Clicked on the wrong thing. There we go.
Him, he'll need no introduction, man. Best safety DB NFL history, bro.
Yeah, so we don't want to. Again, we're going to get into this Ed Reed and how he fired the guys up in just a few minutes. So make sure you stay tuned. We're going to react to that live as well together. But first, let me go ahead and throw my screen up here so we can take a look at this I word report, man, because it's kind of a long one. It's kind of a doozy today. It's kind of a doozy. Didn't really expect it to be a doozy, but it was. It was nonetheless. So let's go ahead and pull this up on screen. You guys should be seeing it now. Again, Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson is not practicing Wednesday, continuing his rest day routine. This is the sixth straight week that Jackson has missed at least one practice. He has not missed a game during that stretch. So this is like the norm here. No reason to freak out. I think after like maybe the third time that this happened with Lamar, we kind of were like, okay, it's clear and obvious now what they're doing. They're giving him one, I guess you could say, a vet day per week. Last week he didn't even have an injury designation. He just rested on that Thursday, or was it Wednesday? I think it was Thursday. So, you got to take these reports with a grain of salt. Of course, I think even the national media is starting to wake up to it, like, okay, he's getting 1 day of rest per week. So nothing to really, be worried about there. But of course, what's the most interesting is that Lamar Jackson is sick again. He's sick. He's got the flu. It's a flu deal, according to John Harbaugh. I guess that's what he told reporters today, and that's what Adam Schefter is reporting here to us. So, I don't think that it'll have any bearing on his availability for Sunday night. I mean, this is just one of those things where, Lamar, he's probably not feeling the greatest today. Maybe tomorrow, which is Thursday, might be the peak of him not feeling the greatest, right? Then Friday, he starts to feel a little bit better. Then Saturday, he's pretty much back. And then he's got all day Sunday, because the Ravens don't play until Sunday night football. So I don't think it has any sort of bearing on whether or not Lamar Jackson will be available to start for the Ravens against the Patriots, because Lord knows we're going to need him. Okay, Lord knows we're going to need Lamar Jackson on Sunday night against the New England Patriots. But it's just interesting to say the least. And again, like I led the episode with, somebody mentioned, oh, Lamar's sick again. He's got the flu again. Again, the yearly Lamar sickness is inevitable, right? It's inevitable. It's like Thanos. It's just going to happen once a year, and you just kind of got to live with it. You got to live with it. But yeah, let's go through the rest of the I word report here. Let me see. Back out of that. Ravens had just posted it. So let's go back in here. Here we go. Wednesday's injury report. Pull that up on screen for you guys. Come on. Not trying to watch Ari Myrov live. Love Ari, but not today. We are live. Make sure you guys like this video. Like the video. Subscribe to our channel if you are new here as well. We'd appreciate that. While the I word report loads up on the big screen here. There we go. Wednesday. So let me just go through them and kind of give you the context behind them and how I feel about it overall. So let's get speed off the screen. We don't need speed. Thank you, speed. All right, so cornerback Chido Awuzie did not practice on Wednesday with that foot that he's been dealing with. So Harbaugh said earlier in the week that we were going to get, some news and information about Awuzie and his current status. I mean, today we see that he's not practicing, which is not a good sign. You would at least like to see him be limited, but I expect, him to maybe start ramping up tomorrow. Definitely going to need him as well. Not even necessarily that, because of the fact that the Patriots have world beaters at pass catcher, because they really don't. I think their best wide receiver right now is Kayshon Boutte. Yeah, I mean, no disrespect to Kayshon Boutte, but like we should be able to, coming off of the likes of guarding, Jamar Chase and DK Metcalf, and a couple weeks ago Justin Jefferson and the Roma Dunzes of the world. I think we can handle Kayshon Boutte, right? I think we should be able to handle Mr. Boutte relatively easily. ISO, what's going on? Appreciate you for coming through. Zeke, what up? Mocha Nurse, what's up? Again, as you guys know, I am live. If you're part of the hashtag replay gang, shout out to you. Leave your comments, questions down below. How are you feeling about this injury report? Let's keep going. Rashad Bateman was back at practice today. Of course, he did not play last week against the Bengals. I still feel like the Ravens need Rashad Bateman, especially around the red zone. If our red zone efficiency is going to go up, I mean, Bateman, he's the perfect red zone target. For a wide receiver, he's the perfect red zone target for Lamar Jackson in the red zone. So I definitely hope he plays. It's certainly looking like with him practicing in full today, he will play. So that's a good sign. Teddy Buchanan, of course, his season is over, right? I don't even know why he's necessarily on the injury report. At this point, Harbaugh already announced earlier this week that he is going to be shut down for the year, of course, requiring surgery. So, I mean, prayers up to him, his family. Definitely hope he gets better soon. Definitely hope he comes back and he's ready to go for training camp. But, and of course, that's the knee that's affecting him, tearing his ACL. Now, here's the thing. And here's why it says on the title of the video that the Ravens get a key addition back at linebacker. And it's coming literally at the dare I say, the perfect time. Because, again, as much as I hate Teddy Buchanan going down like that, we got another rookie ready to step up and play and fill that role, right? On top of Trenton Simpson, who I know will get the nod at that position. But Jay Higgins, the fourth, returned to Ravens practice today. He was limited. And of course, he was dealing with that knee. They put him on IR about a month ago or so. And I asked multiple times to us in the chat here. I asked Alex on Monday. Because I was thinking to myself, like, where is Jay Higgins? Did they shut him down for the season? Or like, was I missing something? And everybody was telling me, yeah, he's done for the year. Or at least Alex told me that on Monday. Alex, I don't know if you're listening, but obviously that was wrong. So I think that with getting Jay Higgins back, and I personally, what I saw from Jay Higgins in the preseason, I loved it. I know we mainly had him in special teams and things like that before he got hurt during the regular season. I think he got hurt on a special teams play, matter of fact. But at the linebacker position, the guy looks like he's got the instincts. He looks like he has the athleticism, right? He's kind of got that tenacity to like hit you with some force. He looks the part, right? Kid out of Iowa, of course, first year with the Ravens, showed a lot of promise preseason. So I hope that he can probably start to ramp up a little bit. I don't expect him to play this week, right? I don't expect him to play this week. Again, he was limited today with a knee, but I do expect the Ravens to start ramping him up maybe next week or the week after. We'll have to see. But just some of the things, I mean, stopping the run, right? Being instinctual when, trying to blow up screen passes and things like that. Getting enough depth, right? When dropping back into pass coverage. That's been something that our linebackers historically have not been the greatest at. I think we can groom this kid, especially with the pedigree that this team has, at grooming and developing linebackers, young linebackers. We should be able to develop this kid. We just should. So I want to see him play. Moving on, though, safety Keandre Jackson with an ankle was limited today in practice. Of course, quarterback Lamar Jackson missed practice today in full with an illness. Again, John Harbaugh said it was a flu situation. It was a flu. CJ Okoye, defensive tackle, with a quad, he practiced in full today. I mean, it's gonna be all hands on deck from here on out. especially with the weather getting colder. The trenches get more intense in cold weather because we talk about all the time how, these skill players, these DBs and these wide receivers, they don't really want to hit each other full force, play and play it, play and play out. But the guys in the trenches have no choice. You're being as physical as you can for 4 quarters in that cold weather. I mean, you think about it, the last couple of games that the Ravens have, I mean, you got the Patriots in Baltimore this week. It's going to be damn cold. I know y'all are cold in Baltimore. And then you got the Packers right after that in Green Bay, one of the coldest stadiums. It's going to be damn cold there. And then you got the Steelers in Pennsylvania, in Pittsburgh. Like, it's not going to be easy sledding from here on out at all, unless the Ravens can make the playoffs. And when I say easy sledding, I mean good weather. Unless the Ravens can make the playoffs and they can manage to swing, the Chargers in the first round, you know what I mean, like a Jacksonville, something like that. But even still, no, because the Broncos are going to win that division. So if we win our division, no, they're going to come to us, wild card. So yeah, it's tough sledding from here on out. Literally tough sledding. So it's going to be all hands on deck in terms of the trenches. Good to see CJ Okoye practicing in full. Linebacker Roquan Smith with a knee did not practice today. I believe that this is more of like a vet day sort of thing for Roquan. I didn't hear about this knee all week. I may be mistaken, but I don't remember hearing about this knee that Roquan Smith was dealing with. Of course, Roquan Smith, massively important for stopping that run. The Ravens have been good stopping the run in the past, month and a half. They really haven't given up a whole lot on the ground, so that's good to see, but we're definitely going to need Roquan. So hopefully this was just a rest day for him. Also have tackle Ronnie Stanley with a knee and an ankle. Of course, we know he went down. He actually did go down and went out of the game. He came out of the game for a little while on last Sunday against the Bengals, and we had Carson Vincent step in and play that role for a little bit. So, and some of the plays we saw from Carson Vincent look promising. We might have a future with some of these young guys on the offensive line. It's just all a matter of how soon do the Ravens feel like they need to make a change so they can start getting these young guys ramped up to kind of take over that starting position, those starting roles, right? But it could be more of like a rest day. I mean, Ronnie Stanley normally gets a rest day, a vet day as well. So could be that. Van Noy with a quad did not practice either. Again, I think all three of these at the bottom here are rest days, are vet rest days. At least I hope. I'm sure they're all dealing with something. Everybody at this point. Week 16, I think we're in. Yeah, everybody's dealing with something at this point. Whether it's on the injury report or not, everyone's dealing with something. Probably just some soreness, not too much to worry about. World Class here says, I don't think Judon, because he got released today from the Dolphins, want to come back here and deal with Harbaugh again. Honestly, I don't really. I'm really not mad if the Ravens don't call Matthew Judon and request his services for the rest of the season. He's got no sacks on the year, 1 tackle for loss in over 300 some odd snaps. The guy's just getting older. He's just getting older. I don't think that he's going to move the needle so much that we need to go ahead and spend some cap space on him last minute. Just he's not going to save the season. He's not going to move the needle. I'm good off of him. I'm good. So, let me see here. Judon is done. Yeah, he might wrap it up. Mike says, I'd be pissed. Stop picking up trash. I'm not gonna call Matthew Judon trash, man. He did some good things for the Ravens, but as of right now, man, he's just way over the hill. Way too over the hill. Right? Let me see here. Some of the comments from you guys. Pretty Sunshine. What's up, Pretty Sunshine? Says the last time the Ravens won at Acrisure Stadium was 12-11 2022. 16 to 14 at the Steelers house. Really? Is that a fact? Because I know we played them at home in playoffs. in that last game before the season, I think that was at home too. And of course, we lost the first game of the season last year against the Steelers. You may be right about that. Sheesh. You might be right about that, which is crazy. That's insane. I mean, we need to pick that up, which is why that Week 18 game, even if you win, this week against the Patriots, even if you knock off the Packers after that Week 18 game against the Pittsburgh Steelers that's gonna be it. That's gonna be it. Now let's talk about this. A lot of people, and I mentioned this earlier today on Sudden Reactions, but we were all distracted talking about other stuff as we do on that show. But a lot of people are talking about the scenario where if the Ravens beat the Patriots this week, and I think if the Steelers win this week as well against the Lions, then that basically renders, I think they said it renders Week 17 useless, or if the Steelers lose, one of the two. Would the Ravens rest their starters in Week 17? If they go into Week 17 knowing that, no matter what happens in this Week 17 game, we know we still have to beat Pittsburgh Week 18 to go to the playoffs, because that's the only way we win the division. Will the Ravens rest their starters? Even with this long injury report that you see right here in front of you, I don't think so. I don't believe that at all, not for 1 second. I don't think that they're going to, because again, you have to start playing your best football at the perfect time, which it seems like the Ravens are trying to do. I mentioned yesterday on the Ravens Roundup, the defense has been only letting up 15 points per game since Week 6, right? AKA when Kyle Hamilton made that move closer to the line of scrimmage. The offense finally picked it up in last week's game, scoring 2 first-half touchdowns, which is something that they hadn't done since October in the Miami game. The Ravens still have not scored 30 points under Lamar Jackson since Week 3 against the Lions, but it seems like the offense is trying. They're trying really, really hard to kind of put things together and even out the production with what the defense has been doing. And with that being said, it's going to take repetition. You know what I mean? I don't think that pulling all the starters out and sitting them for an entire week, knowing that, the type of game you got next week, you need to be ready and prepared. And of course, it'd be a net positive to keep everybody healthy, coming out of Week 17, going into Week 18. I get that. But like I said before, at this point in the season, nobody's healthy. And it's all about momentum. It's all about momentum. You don't want to lose that game against the Packers. That could be deflating. You pull your starters, you lose that game, and let's say a heartbreaker right at the end of it. And then you go to Week 18 kind of stumbling into that one. Kind of starting the playoffs a whole entire week early. And you're cold. It's just, I don't think it's very smart. I don't think it's very smart. Black Daniel says, them Bamas ain't earned no rest. I said what I said. Now, that's true. That's true. That's a fact, man. I agree with that. 86 Ghosts with the Super Chat donation. 86 Ghosts making it rain here with the 5-piece donation on Quiet Storm Sports. Appreciate you, brother. Says, Ravens are the definition of load management, and we're not talking about Harbs, Diddy activities. Oh, my Lord. Ghost. Not the load management. Oh, my gosh. I mean, when it comes to this, man, I again, I don't think that they're going to rest guys. I don't think so at all. I think that Harbaugh is going to trot those same guys out there, Lamar Jackson included. I don't think he gets any rest either. Although I wouldn't be mad if, Week 17 didn't matter at all and they decided to, throw Tyler Huntley in there and just give Lamar Jackson an extra week to get his legs just right. Because we're going to need that, Lamar. Versus some of our playoff opponents, should we make it there. Lamar Jackson is looking like, as we're talking about these illnesses and, these injuries and things like that, he's looking like he's getting back up to his normal speed. I don't think that's crazy to say. It looks like he's getting there, right? Only thing for me is I need to see that signature change of directions. I know you guys have heard me say this on Monday's episode. I said it yesterday on the Ravens Roundup, but once I see Lamar Jackson start to making those cuts again and kind of hitting that ship, that second gear, have that little extra shake and bake, then I'll fully believe that he's back. And maybe 13 days of rest would do that for him. It's a possibility. So just something to think about. Something to think about. Tila says he hit that 19 miles an hour. I saw that. So there was a tweet from I think it was Ryan Mink. He posted Lamar Jackson hit his top speed, or his second highest speed since week 4 running the football, that is. So again, the speed looks like it's coming back for sure, like the burst and things like that. But I need to see that wiggle, right? And you really need your ankles to be right to be able to do that. Like running straight is cool and all, but like when you need to cut on a dime, like we've seen Lamar Jackson do his entire career, and absolutely embarrass defenders and break the will of both the defenders on the field and the defensive coordinator on the sidelines, you need your ankles to be able to make those cuts. Point blank, period. You know, we basically need to see Lamar Jackson back in Madden mode, Madden Lamar mode, right? You guys know when you're playing Madden, or when you used to play that one annoying person in Madden who would always pick the mobile quarterback team, and almost every play when they were in a pickle where, nobody's open downfield, they just roll out and just run up the field, and like your linebackers can't catch him. Oh, you put a spy on him? Cool. I have Lamar Jackson. He's going to beat him around the edge anyway. Pick up a cool 12, 14 yards. We used to see that sort of play with Lamar Jackson. He used to be a Madden player personified, quite literally. And I'm sure it ran defensive coordinators up a wall. When you have everything locked up, everybody's covered on the back end. You even have a spy to account for Lamar, and he just runs around your spy, runs around your linebackers, picks up 12 yards. Now the Ravens are back in favorable down and distance. They can open up their playbook. And as a defensive coordinator, it's like, I just threw my fastball at him, and he just weaved it that easily. If we can get that Lamar back, like again, Buffalo Bills game, week 1. You guys remember the play where Lamar Jackson's getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back further backwards, out of the pocket. And then he ends up making one move, cuts up field, ends up gaining 15 yards. Those are the type of plays we need back. If we're going to make any sort of run, we're going to need those type of plays back to keep this offense on the field, keep the defense off the field, right? And more importantly, keep whatever opposing quarterback who should be playing pretty damn well. I mean, whether it's, again, Justin Herbert, even though their offense has been struggling recently, whether that's Bo Nix, whether that's Josh Allen, whether that's Trevor Lawrence, CJ Stroud, we're going to need to keep these guys off the field. Not that I'm scared of any of those guys, don't get me wrong, right? But we got to keep those guys off the field with good offense. And that starts with Lamar's legs. That starts with Lamar's legs, man. Moggs says, my fault, y'all. I'm driving and chatting at red lights. Come on, Moggs. Come on, Moggs. Be safe out there, man. Be safe. Please be safe. Let me see. See my guy Kwame in here. What up, Kwame? Make sure I don't miss anybody. Void. What up, Void? Madden 20 to be specific. Yeah. You guys remember? Back when Escape Artist was an ability. That's what we need. We need more of that. Tila says at least he's at a red light. Yeah, but you know how it goes when you're at a red light. Don't let you be the first one in line, first car in line, right? You're at a red light, you paying attention to your phone. Next thing you know, you just hear honks behind you, and you look up, light's green. You don't know how long it's been green. You don't know how, you just got to be careful. You got to be careful, But World Class says we could see a fully healthy Lamar by the conference championship. I would like to see it. I mean, if we make the conference championship this year, I'll tell you what. If the Ravens win this week, prepare for national media to, en masse, buy up all the Ravens stock that's available. Because right now, everybody in the national media, they're kind of counting the Ravens out, right? They're like, oh, Josh Allen, he's looking for his second MVP this season. Drake May and the Patriots are 11-3. Nobody saw this coming. They might win the AFC. Bo Nix and the Broncos are looking really good with that defense and how well Bo Nix plays down the stretch of these games. Nobody's really talking about the Ravens. Everybody's talking about, this should be Josh Allen's year to win the Super Bowl. No Patrick Mahomes, right? Might not even be a Lamar Jackson. And then they're saying, even if the Ravens do make it, that's not even the hardest matchup for the Bills. Everybody's counting us out. So I'm saying, if you win If you win this week against the Patriots on Sunday Night Football, the entire world watching, if you embarrass them especially, be prepared for the national media to be, again, talking how this thumbnail and to this video is saying. It's saying AFC dark horses. Everybody's going to start to ride that narrative. The Ravens are going to all of a sudden become the team nobody wants to play. So that's really what's at stake. It's either between that or, again, a week from today, we're sitting here like, all right, well, now how can we make it in? I mean, we know we're still going to have to beat Pittsburgh, but we're going to need some help. We're going to need some other help, you know. What else you guys have in here for me? Void says Josh Allen. Like James Cook ain't the best player on that team, but hey, his name isn't Derrick Henry. That's true. That's true. But no, I mean, Josh Allen definitely, he's done his part. He's done his part. If they want to say that he's the most valuable player, I think that they could. I couldn't be too mad at it. I mean, it's between him and Matthew Stafford. It was Drake May up there as well with, his passing yards and things like that. But Josh Allen just beat him head to head. As a matter of fact, walked that team down and won. So right now it's literally Matthew Stafford, Josh Allen, end of list when it comes to MVP contention. But we'll see who the press ends up going with. It'll definitely be it's gonna be a tough decision for the likes of guys like Dan Orlovsky. Well, Dan Orlovsky has like sort of like an affinity to the Bills, I think, in some way. I think he goes on like a Buffalo Bills radio show weekly or something like that. He'll probably vote for Josh Allen again. I think he's already kind of gearing up to paint that narrative in the national media. Dan Orlovsky again, that is. But other guys in the media, again, the Associated Press is who votes on the MVP, by the way, guys. So certain guys in the media have votes over this award, and it's looking like right now they're probably going to give it to Josh Allen, especially if they win out. But let me see. Sutton, don't lie, Josh isn't it. They're trying to do the same thing to Stafford they did to Lamar. Well, I mean, you think about it. Nobody is the NFL. If you talk about the NFL's best interests, they want Josh Allen to be the face of the league. I mean, the stars are literally aligning this year for him to win a second MVP, which would tie him with Lamar Jackson. It shouldn't, but it would. And then they want to see him win a Super Bowl. If those two things happen, or even if just one of those two things happen, he's going to be, as if he's not already, the darling of the league. I think he is already. I think that's clear and obvious what the NFL wants Josh Allen to be, the face of the sport. Mahomes had his time. Chiefs are missing the playoffs this year. Mahomes tore his ACL. It's Josh Allen time. I know Matthew Stafford has the stats. He's been going crazy this year with the touchdown to interception ratio. I understand all of that. But the problem is they're going to go back to the same excuse that they had last year when they talk about most valuable player. And they're going to look at that team and pick apart that roster and say, yeah, you got Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, who scored a rack of touchdowns this season, and I'm sure it's not done. And you've also got Kyron Williams. You got a solid back. I mean, you look at who Josh Allen has. I mean, his best players are James Cook and who? Deion Dawkins. Who's he really throwing the ball to? I mean, Khalil Shakir, Keon Coleman, who was benched. I mean, I don't even think they have Kincaid this year, do they? Did he get hurt? Can't remember. I'm brain farting on that one. But again, that's the argument that they're going to make. That is the argument that they're going to make for Josh Allen to win MVP. Let me just look up the Bills' remaining schedule really quick, because that'll tell us a lot. No, I don't want to update my phone right now, Apple. Bills schedule. Let me see. Got another super chat donation in the house. This one's coming from Ghost. Says, let Allen win it. Then he got to get the same smoke they have for Lamar 2 MVP and no Super Bowl. Thank you for the super chat donation. Ghost making it rain again here at the Purple Rain podcast. This is Quiet Storm Sports. They're not going to have the same smoke for Lamar Jackson that they would for Josh Allen. They're not. Again, if he wins MVP this year, and they lose in the playoffs, it's not going to be chalked up to Josh Allen having a bad performance. I don't care if he throws 2 picks. Doesn't matter. It'll go on, oh, there were some drops here, and the defense couldn't stop them here or there. You know what I mean? It's going to be more nuanced, a much more nuanced discussion around the Bills' performance as opposed to how it is when Lamar doesn't perform as well in the playoffs. Again, Lamar's the only quarterback who has to perform at top-tier ability in playoffs in order for his team to win. He's the only one. If you don't believe me, you can look back at the Rams' last Super Bowl. Remember the one over the Bengals? Matthew Stafford threw 2 picks in that game. Guess what? They still won. Still won. Tom Brady in his career, when turning the football over in playoff games, still has a positive record. But I mean, again, this year is definitely setting up for the Bills to win the Super Bowl, especially if the Ravens don't make it. And you don't kind of have like that rivalry there where it's like, hey, we know you guys really well. You know us really well. We both have a playoff pedigree. Let's duke it out. Other than that, the Bills, I mean, they're looking at, again, the inexperienced Broncos with Bo Nix at quarterback. They're looking at the playoff demon riddled Chargers, right? Justin Herbert still hasn't won a playoff game. They're looking at the Houston Texans, who don't really look like a team who's going to will themselves to multiple playoff wins, let alone one, right? So, I mean, everything is set up. Everything is set up for the Bills to go ahead and get to their first Super Bowl in a minute. Since what, the 90s? Right? When they lost 4 straight. Embarrassing. 86 Ghosts, appreciate the super chat. He also says, I'll give enough smoke myself to start a fire. I know that's right, man. We're going to riot in the streets. I know that much. We're going to riot in the streets. As much as I'm being objective about it right now, I ain't happy about it. Okay, I still feel like Lamar Jackson should have 3 MVPs right now. Right now. But they all told us last year, since Lamar Jackson has Derrick Henry, and Mark Andrews, and Zay Flowers, right? He didn't deserve it. Even though he threw, 41 touchdowns, 4 picks. Stuff that, I mean, people just haven't done for the most part. But they gave it to Josh Allen because, he has no help. And they'll market it the exact same way this year. The exact same way. Is what it is, though. Is what it is. Coach, Sip to Tally Films. What up, Coach? Appreciate you for coming through. Appreciate you. Tila says they said he had 9 Pro Bowlers. Wasn't one of those Pro Bowlers Daniel Faalele? Let me know if I'm wrong on that one. Please let me know if I'm wrong on that one. But if I'm not mistaken, I think it was one of those guys was Daniel Faalele, which tells you everything you need to know about the Pro Bowl selections. Pro Bowl means nothing anymore. It really means nothing at all. I mean, we've had the likes of Tyler Huntley, and no slight to him, but he's not a Pro Bowler. Come on now. Let's be real. Be for real. World Class says, hell, Zay might make the Pro Bowl this year. I'm pretty sure he's nominated for it, but do I think he should? Anyway, let me see. 86 Go says here, they skipped the fact that Lamar made 6 of those Pro Bowlers. He developed them himself. That's true. Nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about how much Lamar Jackson elevates his team. That should be one metric on that they really look at for these MVP discussions. Like, how much do you elevate the guys around you? We've seen Lamar Jackson elevate guys like Seth Roberts and Willie Snead and Miles Boykin at times, right? And I don't see how the league doesn't see it and recognize. Maybe it's just fatigue. I think it's really just voter fatigue. That's what it was last year. No doubt about it. It was all voter fatigue. And he's got Derrick Henry. Done. Because Derrick Henry had a damn good year last year. He had a damn good year. But the way that Lamar Jackson elevates everybody around him, again, he elevated Derrick Henry. Hate to break it to you, but when Lamar Jackson was a threat with his legs last year, Derrick Henry was seeing some of the most wide open gaps that he's seen in his career. That's why he used to be running with like that crazy face. You guys remember the pictures of Derrick Henry breaking out into the open field? That's why that used to happen. because he's like, I've never seen lanes like this. I've never seen lanes this big. Those lanes were as big as the Houston freeway, and trust me, those freeways are big. Lots of lanes, 20 plus lanes. Not even lying. Void with the $5 super chat donation. Appreciate you for making it rain here on this episode of Quiet Storm Sports. Void says, I'd be ready to smack fans using Pro Bowls as arguments. Like, bruh, y'all put them there via vote. Using agenda to boost agendas is Mephistophelian work. That's a new one for me. I actually don't know what that word means. But I have to look it up though. It hasn't come across my word of the day app yet, which I love, by the way. If you guys don't have a word of the day app, please download one on your phone. If you want to just like learn new words, expand your vocabulary, just put it on your app, put the little widget on your home screen. Learn a new word every day. Void has taught me a new word today. Mephistophelian. Okay. Mephistophelian. What does that mean, guys? Somebody please tell me. Because I don't know. I really don't know. Spiritual War says it's not fatigue, it's racism. LMAO, they never get fatigued when it's a white quarterback. They never got tired of Tom at the top. FOH. Fuck out of here. I feel you on that. Could definitely be some of that going on. That's for sure. You never know. I mean, I've always said the NFL at the top of the top, it's a good old boys club, right? They reminisce about the olden days all the time when old Curly was there, tossing the pigskin, and their grandfather was out in the backyard and they were tossing, putting on leather helmet. They probably romanticize those days. I'm not gonna hold you. They probably do. But when it comes to the Associated Press, the ones who actually vote on the award, they just seem to do, like, even guys like Emmanuel Acho, and I know how a lot of you guys feel about him, just do these mental gymnastics to not give Lamar credit. It's weird. Void says Mephistophelian means wicked, evil, fiendish. Okay. Says I'm pronouncing it wrong. Mephisto. I don't. I'll have to take another look at it. Shout out to you, Asmodeus, another one of our moderators here in the chat. Appreciate you for coming through. Thanks y'all for looking that up for me. I appreciate that. You guys actually did. I mean, coach in here got the pronunciation and everything. I definitely can't read that, but let me try to Mephistophelian. How am I pronouncing that incorrectly? I feel like I'm pretty good at language. Mephistophelian. Mephistophelian. Maybe that's what it is. I'll stop there though. Zay is not a Pro Bowler this year. I agree. I mean, still more fumbles than touchdowns. Maybe not actual recorded fumbles at this point, but to me, still more fumbles than touchdowns. You guys know what I'm talking about. I need to see more. Okay. Zay's still top 5. Yeah, don't agree. Sorry. Tori says, I can't say racism. They love Jaden Daniels and Dak Prescott. Well, here's the thing about Dak. He plays for the Cowboys. Whoever is starting quarterback for the Cowboys, they are going to be beloved, especially if they are a company man like Dak Prescott is, So, again, Cowboys are the most, I think they're the richest franchise in sports, I want to say. And if not number 1, they're up there. They're definitely top 3. So they're just literally everybody knows the Cowboys. So whoever's their quarterback, that's like the quarterback of the best high school team in the area. Even though the Cowboys aren't the best team, I know, but you guys get the point. Let me see. And Jaden Daniels, they were on the way to loving Jaden Daniels. We that kind of got derailed in a really shitty way this year. But yeah, I think we got to see. We got to see about that one. I still see Zay as a wide receiver 1. No, stop. He's a 2, and that's okay. He's a high end 2 at that. But it's okay. Let me see here. Let me go to. Ashley had brought up something in the chat that I actually did have bookmarked. Let me go to my bookmarks here. Bear with me, guys. Go to my PRP stuff. I love the fact that you can put folders on X. I love that. I got folders for workouts, good to know stuff, this PRP stuff, my sudden reactions. I love it, man. I love it. Twitter's come a long way. I just wish it was still called Twitter. Forget Elon, man. All right, but Ashley brought this up in the chat, and I didn't know if I was going to cover this or not, but she brought it up. Ashley says, Sutton, did you hear about the Immortal Chamber recovery pod the Ravens got for the training room? And yes, I did. As you guys can see here, this is what she's referencing. It says the Ravens have installed a high-tech $159,000 Immortal Chamber recovery pod in the training room. It uses red light therapy, magnetic fields, vibration, hydrogen, and guided. Get Lamar Jackson in there right now. Somebody get Lamar Jackson in that machine right now. He needs to be in that machine living there. Okay? You know, bring him food and water, but just keep him right there. Keep him right there. As soon as he comes off the field, he need to go lay down in that bed. But let me keep reading. And guided meditation to help players reset mentally and physically in just 25 minutes. I mean, think about it, guys. $159,000 for this thing. This shit better make me feel like a brand new man. Like no lie, no cap, right? For $159,000, that's crazy. That's crazy. Zay Flowers described the experience as a deep, almost out of body meditation. Pat Ricard credits it with speeding up his recovery from his injury. I mean, that recovery was kind of slow, Pat. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, John Harbaugh was even getting frustrated with how slow that recovery was. So, I mean, if that's what got you back and, you know, pancaking dudes again and making really good blocks and sealing off your man, then so be it. So be it. You know, Zay Flowers says it's a great tool as well. Love that for Zay. But no, keep Lamar Jackson. He needs to stay in there. He needs to live in there. He needs to live in there. Period. Tila says, sign me up. Yeah, I mean, it looks like it'll be dope. Like after the gym, can you imagine hitting the gym, then right after that, which it was funny. We talked about the gym earlier. That was a funny conversation. But just hopping in one of these things and just kind of like 25 minutes of therapy. Yeah, sounds dope. Sounds dope. Sounds dope. Maybe they had to sell the games in the locker room in order to afford this. I don't know if the games were worth $159,000, but it's just a joke. Just a joke. How long have they had that pad? I don't know. I mean, Pat Ricard said it helped him speed up his recovery. So I'd assume they've had it since the beginning of the season. Not sure though. Not sure. Okay. Look at Taurus. Taurus still caping for Zay in the chat. Still caping for Zay. Come on, Taurus. You're my guy. But he said, if you give Zay the same targets as CD or JSN or Jamar, Zay is a 1,200 plus wide receiver. Easy. Maybe true. That probably is true, right? But how many touchdowns is he going to score? How many times is he going to get his offense off the field and not have to worry about red zone offense efficiency? No, it's just 6 points. I'm going to just give you 6 points. And we're going to get off this field and put more pressure on the other team's offense, not our offense. You know, one of those things. Maybe he would score more touchdowns, though. Maybe. Anything else I had in here before we wrap this episode? Oh, the playoff path, right? The playoff path. And I saved this tweet earlier today. And then I looked at it right before I went live, and I was like, something doesn't look right about this. And it's on the second bullet. We'll get to that. The first one, though, says Ravens go 3-0. They make the playoffs, which means the Ravens are still in control of their own destiny. That means they will finish 10-7. Got to beat the Steelers in Week 18, of course, and you would win the division via common opponent's tiebreaker with the Steelers. So, again, simply put, you win out, you're in. Win and you're in. It's a phrase as old as time when it comes to this football stuff. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to focus on. 3 tough matchups for sure. Patriots, Packers, Steelers, not going to be a cakewalk. But, I mean, you put yourself in this position if you're the Ravens. Now it's time to prove it. It's time to put up or shut up, quite literally. Put up or shut up. Second option, Ravens go 2-1 plus beat Pittsburgh they would make the playoffs. That means they'll finish 9-8. You must beat the Steelers. You're eliminated if you don't beat the Steelers and win division via better division record. Now, with this one, this seems a little off because I'm pretty sure if the Ravens were to lose this week, I'm pretty sure the Steelers would have to lose to either the Detroit Lions or the Browns. And then they would also have to lose to the Ravens in order for the Ravens to go to the playoffs. So with this one here, I mean, basically what it's saying is if you don't win every single game, if you do not win out, you're going to need help. You're going to need external help, which is not where the Ravens want to be. So just win out. The Ravens go 1-2, and it comes down to week 18. The Steelers must lose out, and the Ravens must beat the Steelers. Yeah. So there's literally no room for error. No more room for error at all. So, whoo. Let me see. The World Class says it's a 7-game playoff for us to win a Super Bowl. Unfortunately, 8 and 9 season loading. Ashley, don't yell at me. Yeah, basically, playoffs started to me against the Steelers. Of course, it wasn't like literal elimination, but like it's felt like that, and it's getting closer to that, right? It's getting closer to like, hey, if you lose this one, you're done. I mean, we've been kind of getting along the season, losing a game here, losing 2 games here, losing 4 games here, and kind of thinking like, yeah, we still got some time. We still got some time to make things up, but now time is up. Time is up, and you got to start winning, period. Point blank, period. Got to start winning. But hey, look, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this episode of the show, this episode of Quiet Storm Sports. Again, we appreciate each and every one of you guys for coming through. Make sure you leave a like on this video. Please, please, please leave a like on this video, and also subscribe to the channel if you are new here to the Rain Gang. Again, I am your host, Sutton Def. This is the Purple Rain Podcast YouTube channel, and this show is the Quiet Storm Sports Show, where I go live damn near daily talking about our Ravens. Of course, when the Ravens are not playing football anymore, I'll still be talking sports. It'll be more of an umbrella sports pod after that. But again, appreciate all of you guys for coming through. Make sure if you want to see me react to some other stuff other than sports, outside of sports, we have a lot of fun on Sudden Reactions in the morning. It is live on this channel in the mornings. Got to hit that notification bell to see when we go live, or when I go live for that show. But if you also want to subscribe to my actual Sudden Reactions channel, please go on YouTube, type in Sudden Reactions, and go subscribe. I only got like 50 subscribers over there right now, guys. So help me out. If you could, go sub over there too. We'd appreciate that. But yeah, guys, again, appreciate all of you guys for everything you do. Have a blessed evening. Of course, always stay positive, test negative, and never, ever, ever forget to do what? Even on the rainy days. That's called God. It's been another episode of Quiet Storm Sports. I'm going to catch you guys in the next one. Peace.